Hey y'all, Merry Christmas. Welcome back to the Skookum Report. I wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and I hope y'all are having a wonderful Christmas Eve. And I wanted to do a short encounter story for y'all. And this one comes from Ohio, and from a gentleman who wants to remain anonymous. This happened between the years of 1978 and 1980. It was a series of sightings and screams and smells near an abandoned strip mine out where they live in Stark County, Ohio. Now, he says that the area is thickly wooded. It's a lot of hilly terrain, full of abandoned strip mines and a lot of marshlands in and throughout the area. And it always seemed to happen on clear summer nights. It's very interesting. He says, in the late 70s, I used to walk to my friend's house, and I used to go through this swampy area. And one night around 10 p.m., I started walking to his house. About halfway there, I heard this very strange sound. It was like a low-pitched growl that became a very high-pitched scream. Now, being only 12 years old, I started running my butt off back home trying to get away from whatever this thing was. I could hear it following me on 2 feet, and there was a smell in the air that was just awful. And at one point, it sounded like it was so close to me, I just knew I was going to get grabbed at any minute. Now, I finally made it to my backyard, and whatever it was never came out of the woods to show itself. Then, about a month later, while riding my bike back to the same friend's house, except this way I took the long way, I heard it again. Now, that sound just made the hair on the back of my neck stand up just thinking about it. Ugh, this thing just never seemed to go away during the summer months. My older brother thought that I was pulling his leg with these stories, and until one night that changed his mind completely. He was out with a friend, and they were at this old makeshift cabin that we had built out in the woods, just hanging out. And they both heard something come up from behind them. And when my brother turned around to see what it was standing right there. Now, when they turned to run, the creature grabbed my brother and ripped a mark on his back. It had 3 claw-like looking scratches about an inch or 2 long, and it had ripped his shirt. They ran back down the hill until they hit the road, and just like before, it never left the cover of the woods. He said it stayed there and just bellowed out this awful scream that scared them both half to death. Now, I got to tell you, I've never seen my brother that visibly shook up or scared in my entire life. I'll never forget that. And one morning around 3 a.m., my brother slipped outside to have a cigarette. Our parents didn't allow us to smoke, so he would sneak out. After about 3 minutes, I heard this banging on the back door. And just before the banging on the door had started, our dog was acting very strange. It ran under the bed and started whimpering like something was wrong. Now, when I got to the door, I opened the door and there was this awful smell in the air. It was like a mix between a skunk and rotten flesh. My brother almost tore the screen door off the hinges trying to bang and get my attention to come out, and he said, look, take a look back there. Look, there it is. I looked in the direction he was pointing, and there was this huge, hairy thing walking out of the woods. It had moonlight shining off of its back, and it looked to be upwards of around 8 feet tall. When it walked, it looked like it was slumped over, and we could see its arms moving as it walked out of the woods and on through my neighbor's yard. That's just one of the many things that happened by and around our house during those 3 summers that this thing kept coming around. Now, we had seen multiple footprints in the woods around the abandoned strip mines, and the tracks were much larger than my brother's size 13 shoe. And that's a big foot right there. When he was followed the first time, he could hear that when I was followed the first time, I could hear that it was on 2 feet. It was pretty obvious. And I told my mother about the incidents, and she said that I was crazy. Now, a strange thing also happened during the sighting in our backyard. And when my brother went out to have the cigarette and it came out of the woods and walked off through my neighbor's yard, the neighbors have hunting dogs. They have 5 of them. And these dogs didn't make a peep the whole time the creature was around the yard and walking through. I had another sighting in daylight using binoculars with my friend. Now, me and him could see this creature was standing up against a tree and looking in the general direction of a few homes. I could see that it was light brown in color, and it was at least 7 to 8 feet tall. And you know, when my brother showed our mom the scratches on his back and told her what had happened, she just shook her head and said, "You need to stay away from that barbed wire." Amazing, amazing encounter stories. 3 years, 3 summers full of these sightings and sounds and smells. That's amazing. Oh my goodness, I can't believe they never really shared it with anybody, and he wanted to remain anonymous. And can you imagine his own mother said they were crazy? Imagine how that would have made you feel, you know, when you feel like telling somebody else about it. Especially someone who's not really a close friend. I can't imagine that. I would want to tell somebody, but you don't want to be looked at as a crazy person or a liar. That's just incredible. Well, if you or anyone you know has had an encounter or a sighting, shoot me an email at skookumreport@gmail.com. That's skookumreport@gmail.com. And I'll be sure to get it up on the channel for you so everyone else can hear it and enjoy it. And there's no judgment here. We're all believers. And this is a safe place to vent or just talk about it. You can talk in the comments with other people that have had some of the similar things happen to them. No judgment here. We're here to support. So I want to thank you all one more time and tell you all Merry Christmas and have a wonderful, Happy New Year, which I'll see you before then. But have a wonderful Christmas Eve and a wonderful Christmas Day. And thanks again for coming to the Skookum Report. I really appreciate y'all, and I just want to thank you so much. This has been really a lot of fun doing this, and I look towards another year of new and exciting encounters, and it's just going to be awesome. So y'all take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.